Greetings and welcome to Mount Olympus. I am Hercules Invictus, and today we will explore all things paranormal with Paul Dale Roberts, the one, the only. Greetings and welcome, Paul. How are you?
Thank you. I'm not feeling all that good. Um, uh, I caught a cold or something like that, but I'm getting better. So I'm excited for the show. I have some random questions for the panel, and I just want to see what their answers are. So
Awesome.
if you don't mind, I'll get started. In fact, I'll start with you, Hercules. Um, do you believe in stargates?
Yes, but not in the way that they were presented on television. In shamanism, be it Olympian shamanism, Siberian shamanism, or any other type of shamanic system of interacting with nature, you can get into other worlds through holes in the ground, holes in trees, and other type of natural phenomena. Or you can walk under the boughs of a tree and find yourself in another dimension. With the Norse, they had a nine world system. The Hebraic has the Kabbalah with a Sephiroth, and that's a 10 world system plus a 10 negative worlds, the football two that are like the negative part of the Sephiroth.
Hmm.
And in Greece, you had different worlds too. Like you had Hades, and you had Olympus, and you had Arcadia, and you had all these other places that were supernatural. And you get through a portal to reach them, but the portal wasn't a structure or a feature of the ground. You just automatically found yourself in these other worlds, and you can come back even from the land of death. So the land of death, for instance, and I just wrote something for Tim Schwartz on the Greek land of death. There were features of geography; these places were connected to one another, and you could return back to the land of the living. In fact, some heroes often did. They would retrieve something or someone from the underworld. So I believe that these things exist. I know from doing inner work on myself and through my meditation and astral projection, things like that, that oftentimes imagining a door, and yes, I have imagined a Stargate that worked just as well. um, you can transition yourself to other states of mind. The Egyptians had doors that were etched into walls with a series of smaller doors to show depth, and you could use those to enter other realms as well. So yes, I believe in stargates.
Thank you so much, Hercules. That was a very good answer. Michael Koff, go ahead and introduce yourself. And what are your thoughts on Stargates?
All right, so I'm Michael Koff. I'm a metaphysical paranormal investigator, podcaster, author, and gentleman of many hats. And I would say my viewpoint of stargates is I view them as portals, and as the TV shows where they need a computer or device to open it, I feel like they open by intention and energy, and so that's one part where I differ from the TV shows. But I do believe that there are special portals that can take you to other worlds and experience different cultures. And I think there are also portals around here to where we can walk through it and end up in, say, Asia or Europe, and that there's connections all around. I think I kind of want to say they're like wormholes, but I don't think they operate on the same science as wormholes. However, I do believe they are ways for us to travel and can be in the astral realm or here on Earth.
And thank you, Michael. Very good answer, also. Donny Cho, go ahead and introduce yourself. And what do you think about Stargates?
Yeah, my name is Donny Cho. Host of Donny Cho Says Stuff. You can find me on YouTube. It's a goofy comedy show that focuses on like the paranormal and cryptids and Fortean topics, but it's all comedy. It's goofy nonsense. But when it comes to Stargates, it's hard to define because are we talking about portals that physically take us there? There are also portals that like take our consciousness elsewhere where our bodies remain here. I think that might be even more common.
Could be both.
People would argue that psychedelics would be a form of Stargate, right? Where your body's still remaining in the mundane materialistic world, but then your consciousness is just transported to, who knows, right? Another dimension, another state of reality. So, yeah, I think it really depends on what you define a Stargate is, or as. But regardless, I think they're out there. I think it's possible. It would explain a lot in terms of like really, really strange phenomena, right? Especially with like UFOs, astral projection, interdimensional creatures, the Fae. A lot of it always goes back to the theory of portals.
Right.
Which, I mean, because, we do have to differentiate, right? The difference between a Stargate and like an Einstein-Rosen bridge, right? A wormhole, which is more like just physical, take you from one side of the universe to the other, right?
Right.
Right. Yeah. So if we make Stargates, I guess, put it in as a more broad term, then yes, I think they're out there, and I think some of us have experienced them, depending on how you define them. But yeah.
Thank you very much. And Heather, what's your thoughts?
Hi, I'm Heather. I do paranormal investigation with Mr. Paul Roberts. I really like that the Stargate show pulled from so many different mythologies. They had Egyptian, Greek, Hindus, and they took real archaeological findings where people think ancient astronauts came and visited us and pulled it into a show, which was great. But I do believe that it's odd that so many different cultures had so many different, slightly different, like a telephone communication game as a kid, but they are very, very similar. They believed that there was a portal of some kind that took the gods from their world to ours, and occasionally came and took us to theirs.
Yeah.
Right.
So, what are your thoughts, Paul?
Oh, okay.
You read my mind, Michael. I was just about to ask you the question.
I didn't want to interrupt Heather. I thought she was going to say some more, but okay. I definitely believe in Stargates. I believe they could possibly be wormholes. I think you can physically get there, or you can use your mind to go through these different portals and everything else. Just like the Alaska Triangle since the 1970 to the present time, over 20,000 people have disappeared. And a lot of these people, they can't even find the bodies. Where did they go? They had to probably go into a portal and went into another realm and whatever. So yeah, it seems like ancient societies believed in these stargates. They created these doorways that go nowhere. So, and it looks like there's some type of device where you can stick it in there and turn it around, and maybe the portal opens up. So, yeah, I definitely believe, because another thing that's really interesting is like you take a piece of paper like this and you put A over here and B over here, you fold it together and it comes together. I believe that's kind of like how portals work. So that's kind of like my thoughts. Are you guys ready for the next question?
We are.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, all right. Have you ever had a UFO experience? Have you seen a UFO? You've been abducted by aliens? Anything extraterrestrial? Have you seen any of these gray beings coming through your walls or anything like that? Have you ever had a UFO experience? starting again with Hercules.
Yes. First, let me check. I think somebody just came in, so let me see if it's your guest.
Kayla?
Kayla, yes,
Oh, bring her in.
sure.
Forget about the UFOs, guys.
How can we? Okay, she's here.
Okay. Kayla.
Hi, sorry. My
Oh.
babysitter canceled.
Oh, I'm
I was
sorry.
trying to get my daughter settled. So I'm still kind of running around in circles right now.
Oh, okay. Everything okay?
I'm here.
Okay.
You want to say hi?
Hi.
Hello.
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 Let me go.
I'm bored.
No, you're always bored. Yeah. You're fine. Yeah.
Kayla,
You're fine.
let me know when I can go ahead and introduce you, and then we'll get going.
Okay. Give me like 1 minute. I'm going to walk outside real quick away from her.
Okay.
Yes. How dare me?
I feel you. I'm hiding in the garage for my children.
See, like we don't have a choice.
No,
If
we
she
don't.
sees me, then it's never going to stop.
You lost
Let me
your
just turn some.
One sec. She's
Let me
still
go-
there.
there.
It's just a little
Yeah.
dark.
No, it's dark. I'm just going to turn some lights on. I'm here. You just can't see me.
It's paranormal.
Right? I think it actually adds to it if we just all sit in the dark anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we tell spooky stories.
Oh, yeah.
I never really liked having flashlights when I went out. I preferred to walk in the dark. Okay, see, there we go. I can see
Okay.
everyone now.
All right, Kayla, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you and ask you a few things.
Okay.
Oh, and also, too, I'll introduce a panel to you. Hercules, go ahead and tell her who you are and what you do.
Greetings, Kayla. I'm a podcaster. I'm a author. I'm an instructional entertainer. And currently I'm podcasting and writing for paranormal books more than doing other things. I had a TV show in the past. I've been on TV and I made a movie and I appeared in other people's movies like Where's Waldo? I'd be in like big audience scenes, so that was fun.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Hercules. And Michael, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Michael Koff. I'm a paranormal metaphysical investigator. I'm a Reiki healer, fascinated by the unexplained. I'm also author, podcaster. So I'm pretty much as busy as these guys are.
You guys make me sound like a slacker.
Heather, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, hi, I'm Heather. I'm a paranormal investigator. Sometimes I go and hang out with Paul Roberts and go check things out.
Sounds good. And Donny Cho.
Yeah, my name is Donny Cho, podcaster. I have a show called Donny Cho Says Stuff. It's a comedy show, but it's about the paranormal and cryptids and supernatural. So yeah.
Never heard of paranormal comedy.
Yeah, I figured to do that because no one else is trying it. So
yes, good idea.
Yeah.
And Kayla, my name is Paul Dale Roberts. I'm just a bum off the street. They just grabbed me and said, "Hey, can you host this show?" And I said, "Yeah, why not?" So
well, nice to meet everyone.
You missed his audition. He was very good, actually. So,
Kayla, so how did you get interested in the paranormal?
Well, it's one of those things. I actually was born in Los Angeles. I lived out in LA till I was 8, and I always just had some very strange experiences when I was younger. And even I grew up in Hawaii after that, and I had a lot of very strange things happen out there as well. I didn't start doing paranormal investigations until, God, probably 2013, 2014 officially. Basically, I just kind of found my group. I found my people. And I have a friend who does podcasts, and he started, it's now a Facebook group called Hawaiian Hauntings. And so Joe started this group and decided to start doing outings. First, it went from just being on Facebook to going out and investigating different locations. And I knew him right at the start before he started going out on outings. So I joined him. And from there, I just met other people who, some were psychics, some were just sensitive, some just wanted to go out. And just kind of met a big group of people that we all did our own little excursions. It's kind of like adult field trips. And it kind of spiraled from there, because we used to actually get people call and ask us to go and, clear a house or investigate for private citizens in different locations. And some were just, we heard cool stories, so why not check out the location?
That sounds good. What are some of your, listening guys, the panel, anytime you want to interject with something, or if you want to ask Kaila some questions, just right in. Kaila, what are some of your best cases?
Well, in Hawaii, one of the best ones we had was we actually went, it was a children's day camp. So I won't say the name of the location, but pretty much everything in Hawaii is linked somehow to some type of culture. There's history everywhere. Every place seems to also have somebody buried there, it seems like. So this particular camp had a lot of activity. There was under this, they had like an auditorium that was also used for like church events sometimes. And they used to have a lot of strange things they said would happen in there. There was kayaks stored underneath it. And the kayak room, kayaks would be moved. Things would disappear. Things would just change places. There was one of the campsites, like it was a strange setup. You could go out in these outdoor giant tents that just had a roof, or you could sleep in almost like a little hotel room. And there was one particular room that had a lot of activity. So we went there to investigate, and we were in the kayak room. I remember we were all there, like probably 10 or 15 of us. And two of our friends got very sick. We actually had to carry them out. And yeah, I had a backpack. I love Minions. I had a backpack that would talk if you squeezed a button. My backpack was talking. So that was kind of fun to take that out. We saw a shadow run past us. It ran into a kayak, and like my water bottle went flying in the air. And at that same time, another person hit the ground and had to be carried out. So I don't know exactly who was in there. We just know it wasn't a pleasant area. We found out the history later that unfortunately that was an old Hawaiian village, and cannibals had come across the area. And in order to save the children, a lot of the villagers basically buried their own kids to save them from being eaten. So a lot of children were murdered there. There was an area that wasn't marked off limits, so people were walking across the children's grave. So a lot of the activity seemed to come back from there. I asked him to actually go ahead and mark it and just acknowledge the children who died, and to go ahead and put a sign that said not to enter. And so they put rocks around the actual burial site, and they were able to go ahead and acknowledge the children. And we did the same thing. We went and kind of gave them a little ceremony and put them to rest. And I know they had less activity after, but that whole night was pretty crazy. It was a long night. I mean, I had a friend, we saw a figure walk through a fence, not climb a fence, not go under the fence. They walked right through the chain link fence over there and was coming right towards us. So we were like, okay, that's when we decided to walk away. But it was just a lot of things happening. I remember the spirit box went crazy in one of the bedrooms, and I can't remember exactly what they said. This was back in 2016. They had a lot to say over there. So that was kind of an interesting place, because we were there to kind of investigate and find out. I ended up somehow going over there and helping them trap feral cats for a long time. So I used to go back and visit because I was helping them with their cat population. I was also a part-time animal rescuer. So I would go back and visit the children, and I'd leave them candy. And I was told everything settled down after the acknowledgement. And of course, occasional visits helped, but there's still a lot of activity there. It's just there's certain areas that are always in Hawaii, I feel like, going to have activity.
And Kaila, What island did this happen at?
It happened on Oahu.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I lived for 28 years. So there's a lot of places we went. I mean, there's places that you would go publicly. Most people who visited Hawaii, they heard of the Pali Lookout. That was a very popular place for us to go to. The Pali Lookout is a beautiful scenic mountain. And you see that in the daytime and you see half the island. It's a beautiful view, but it's also a historic battleground. Many people died there. You show up there.
I've seen that mountain. Yes, I know what you're talking about. My brother Andy, he lived in Hawaii for, I think, 7 years. And he said that, I mean, the paradise, it's all there. You know, they did Fantasy Island over there. They did,
Yes.
I think they did Godzilla over there. And he said that, yeah, the islands are very, very haunted.
They are. There's a ton of activity. It's beautiful places in the daytime, and everyone runs around not realizing what's following them around.
And a lot of people don't realize it, but Hawaii is also claimed as part of Lemuria. When Lemuria went into the ocean, Hawaii was left over. Anybody on the panel want to say something before we move on?
I was going to ask, do you like sites like that, historic sites, or like commercial, or do you like residentials?
We used to do a lot of historic sites just for the fun of going off to investigate. Some of them we would go to, urban legends. What's the real story behind the urban legend? Is it really what they say, and go and investigate there? We went to a couple different residentials, but sometimes it's hard to get access. But we also, one of our favorite things to do, we would just go hike on the side of the road and just park on the side of the road and hike up into certain areas. But just kind of depends on what part of the island you were on. But yeah, residential, I always feel like that's kind of a tough one. If you can get permission, I mean, I don't like to tell people to go ahead without permission.
Kaila, Hercules has something to say to you, but I just want to let you know, when I had my group, Halo Paranormal Investigations, that's all we did was residential. And I think it's because we really put it out there, and people started calling us, and a lot of the cases were residential. We hardly did any public places.
Yeah, see, that's the hard part, is if you get permission like that, when someone's asking you, then that's great. Come in, check it out. We had a military lady come and ask us to investigate her home, but it turned out she brought something back from her during travel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hercules has something to say.
I've investigated things in this country and also in Greece. And I noticed that because the folklore is different, even though there's overlap in the folklore, some of the phenomenon is more strongly influenced by the local folklore and stories that are told of these type of entities and events. Did you find that true also in Hawaii, that the cultural aspects of Hawaii played a part in the types of hauntings or sightings that you encountered?
Well, what we like to do, some places we would hear history first. I mean, you can't help but know history when you live somewhere. But other things, I would like to go out and investigate and see what we figure out. Then look at what is the story. What supposedly happened there. I remember going to this place called the Plantation Villages. And there was a particular house where there was somebody who was we'll just say, a very friendly spirit. Well, it turns out later we found out the history was, there was a father in his early 30s that lived there. So he seemed to like younger women. We were all in our late 20s, early 30s, whatever at the time. And he would be extra friendly to some of us and try to get our attention. So I didn't always like to go in and know the folklore or know what's happening. I kind of just want to know what we find. But yeah, I mean, that can play. Sometimes people hear stories and they start to imagine what they're actually seeing, or without researching what it really is after the fact.
I guess you find the stories influencing people's minds.
I think some people, yes. That's where I like to not always know.
That makes sense.
I mean, if
Donnie?
you tell people enough, I mean, that's a duck, even though it's, a pigeon, you might have them starting to think it after a while, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
But that's where I like to go and see what do we discover first.
Michael, Donnie, you guys have anything you want to ask?
I'm curious, Caleb, being in Oahu with Pearl Harbor and the Punch Bowl with all the cemeteries, memorial, does that kind of hauntings translate into the island itself, or do you think they stay isolated to the base area?
I mean, from what I've experienced in the surrounding areas, it seems like they're more isolated to that area. I actually used to live, what was it, maybe 5 miles from Pearl Harbor. Like there was a little stream that would run from Pearl Harbor, like right past my backyard, basically. And I never really had any interactions with anyone that was military. I did have a water elemental that used to come visit, and that little guy was weird. I don't know if you've ever seen a water elemental, but it seems like they stay kind of in their area. We investigated a military base before, and I ended up, unfortunately, picking up a hitchhiker that was over in the helicopter area. So it didn't seem like they really were leaving unless they were following you or attaching to somebody, at least in my experience.
Kayla, did you ever investigate the USS Arizona? I did. And I interviewed a lot of people. One lady said that she felt a ghost hand on her hair and was stroking it. And then some people say that when they take pictures, the oil spill is still going on and it forms a face. And one lady, she showed me a picture that she took of the oil spill, and there was something that kind of looked like a face. Did you ever investigate that?
I actually only went to visit to photograph because that was part of what I used to love to do. I used to do paranormal photography mostly. I would investigate, but I like to do the photography side to see what I could find. But I've been to Pearl Harbor just visiting. And yes, definitely there are spirits there that want to get your attention. I've been tapped. I've had my head patted. People have been there they've let me know they're there. But I didn't see any faces in the oil, but I've heard that before too. Because they also say the oil was supposed to go until the last soldier passed. The last one officially passed, I think, earlier this year. So I don't know if the oil's still running out or not.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, is that
Hey.
Dirty Dog?
It's obsolete.
It's obsolete without the mask.
Oh my God. How's it going?
It's going good, brother. How you doing?
All right, all right.
It's great to see you, man.
Okay, let me tell everybody who you are. Okay, this is Obsolete, and he's an independent filmmaker. He does,
Actor.
he makes horror movies, and he dresses up as a evil clown named Obsolete.
Nice.
What's happening, brother? How's it going? It's good to meet you. I'm gonna let you get back to Giselle and let you talk to her about her
I'm
hauntings.
Kayla today. I'm not masked.
Kayla, she ain't masked, so let you get back to Kayla and let y'all talk about hauntings. But I'll come back and join y'all later.
All right.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
All right, brother.
All right, brother.
Everyone had to say hi.
Kayla, did you ever go and investigate the airfields?
Which ones are you talking about? I've been to
Higgins.
I went to Barber's Point was the one that had the helicopters. There's an air museum over there. That's where I had someone jump in my car. I mean, either way, it's fine.
Are the airfields still around and accessible?
That's why I wasn't sure which airfield, because there's several out there.
There was 4 airfields that were attached to the Pearl Harbor base that were bombed, and so I was just curious.
Okay, the Pearl Harbor airfields. Pretty sure, because I mean, it is still an active base. because Pearl Harbor is right next to Hickam,
Right.
and they work together.
Hmm.
The airfield I went to with the Air Museum was actually across the water from it's called Barber's Point. It's across the water from Pearl Harbor.
Okay. I was just curious if anyone ever goes and checks out the airfields.
I'd have to ask. Yeah, I can ask my friends out there, but I mean, I've gone like just been on base. So that's why, I mean, it's still an active base. So I'm pretty sure anything bombed has been, is now functional again out there. There's not really a ton of land. So if something goes wrong out there, Hawaii kind of has to fix it and use the space again.
Understandable.
Yeah. And also, Kayla, have you investigated? There was like a haunted hospital at Hilo, and
No, that's actually a different island, Hilo.
oh, okay,
So I haven't been there, but I've had surgery a few times at Queen's Hospital, and I can tell you for a fact that place is haunted on Oahu.
okay,
Oh yeah,
okay.
nothing like going in for surgery and having visitors.
Oh, another thing I want to ask you: have you ever encountered the night marchers?
Luckily, no.
Okay.
You don't want to encounter a night marcher.
So what's
Yeah.
a night marcher?
Well, they're spirits of an ancient Hawaiian warrior. So they're Hawaiian warriors, but they're in spirit form, and they usually come out in moonlight nights, and you can't look at them. And
you have to lay on the ground. You have to cover your eyes, not look at them, not make any type of eye contact or look in their direction. Otherwise, they will kill you.
And if you whisper, that you're summoning them.
Yeah, no, I've definitely never tried that one. There's certain things that, that's not one I want to try. Anything that involves anything to do with demonic things or the possibility of me being murdered, I'm definitely not going to ever summon a night marcher because you're taught that.
Can't blame you.
You don't.
Oh, come on. Where's your spirit of adventure?
I mean, if we're talking like Casper with, what's the guy's name from Final Destination? That kid. He was a cute ghost. Let him show up. He was nice, but we don't need to have anything that's going to try to kill us.
Yeah.
Hey, Kayla, you wouldn't have liked my group because we did mostly demonic cases. And my nickname is the Demon Warrior. So, and I saw some crazy, crazy things, believe me.
Yeah, see, I've been around a lot of dark things, and I just that's why I always said once I had a kid that I would avoid that.
Because they attach to kids like crazy.
Exactly.
I have an interesting question for you, Kayla. From when I was in Hawaii, they talked about the palace for King Kamehameha. What's your thoughts on it? Haunted? Not haunted?
Yeah, are you talking about Iolani Palace, the main palace with the queen? Because there's also a Kamehameha. There's a ruins I used to go to. The ruins is haunted.
Yeah, the statue is standing in the front of it.
Okay, the Kamehameha statue, that's across from Iolani Palace. That's actually where Queen Liliuokalani, Kuhio, I'm trying to remember which queen. The queen was actually held hostage in that castle. We've investigated it. And we've had lots of orbs. I've seen shadows. I've seen lights turn on in rooms that were supposed to be unoccupied. But we also used to just go sometimes and hang out on the lawn and just tell stories and see if anything would happen in parts of the palace that were supposed to be closed. But there's definitely activity. Iolani Palace. There's also the Queen's Summer Palace. All I've seen activity at.
Kayla, what do you think about orbs?
What do I think about which one?
Orbs. Orbs
can be an interesting thing because, I mean, I've seen different ones. I mean, doing photography, obviously, there's tons of dust orbs. But I've seen traveling orbs. I've seen faces in orbs. So I do believe that there is some type of paranormal link to certain types of orbs. that, I mean, not everyone is going to be able to communicate and express themselves as a physical being, or a visible, I should say. So orbs are, in my opinion, some type of communication. I mean, I've had like a family member's passed and I've smelled their perfume, or I've smelled cigarette smoke in places where no one's smoking, certain keys that link back, but not everyone can, I believe, give you the sign. I don't think everyone is able to communicate, and that orbs are a form of communication most of the time.
Kayla, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Yeah, orbs can be almost anything. They could be dust, skin flakes, lint, dirt, whatever. But we had a case where the occupants were telling us that Emily, the ghost, was draining their energy. So while we're doing this investigation, one of my investigators said, Paul, I feel tired. I need to sit down. I feel like I'm ready to faint. I said, I wonder if Emily's doing that to you. And I said, Emily, if you're listening to me, kiss him on the mouth. And three of us snap a photo and we get an orb on his mouth. That showed intelligent movement. And then
Exactly.
I said, Emily, if you're listening to me, sit on his lap. We snap a photo with one camera this time, and there's an orb hovering over his lap. Intelligent movement. So now when I do an investigation, I'll place my hand on the wall and I say, if you're a real ghost, appear by my hand. And if that place is haunted, I will get an orb on my hand.
Dude, that's great. Like, I believe that you can ask. I mean, some want to be seen and some don't, is how I kind of feel.
Right.
I mean, I kind of feel like with us too. I mean, sometimes you go out in public, you want to see people. Sometimes you don't, right? And so not every spirit wants to communicate all the time, and not everyone can. But yeah, if you can get them to go ahead and respond to you, I think that's amazing.
And you were talking about orbs with a face inside. Those are designer orbs with the intricate type designs inside the orb. And we had a case in Del Paso Heights where we took some pictures in the backyard and we got these designer orbs. And I asked this investigator, I said, what do you see? And they said, those look like dog faces. So I went back to the occupant and I said, what is it you got in your backyard? And she goes, orange trees. And I said, besides that, she goes, my two dogs are buried back there. I go, really? I said, take a look at these photos and tell me what you see. She started crying. And I said, what are you crying about? She goes, those are my two dogs. Something like that I could deem as paranormal.
I've seen orbs with the dog faces before too.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad you got to show her that though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely animals have spirits. They have souls, so.
I have an interesting question for you. What's your thoughts on the Menehune?
Menehune?
Oh, Menehune. Yeah.
I mean, I believe in Menehunes. I mean, it's kind of like people believe in fairies and, some people believe in elves and all that. Like, I mean, I hope it's true because, I mean, who doesn't love a little mystical creature? I mean, they're supposed to be little mischief makers. They don't really cause real harm. But I was living in a place called Waipahu, and I lived in an old plantation house. And I used to have things go missing all the time. And so my friends would be, aha, it's a Menehunes. So I used to yell at these things. I would scold them like I was children. Where's my stuff? I did have cats, but I've never met a cat that's put my makeup back on top of my toilet seat standing up. Just little things like that. But later on, okay, maybe I live with the Menehune was kind of the joke. I think they're out there, but I ended up living with a water elemental, which doesn't look as cute as the Menehune. But people tell you all different stories. I mean, could be folklore and just made up, but where is it coming from? I mean, maybe it really is just spirits moving our stuff around and we just want to put a cute face on them, but it's nice to believe they're real.
It's funny about. I'm so glad Michael mentioned Minahuni, because we actually had a case in Rockland, California, and this family went to Hawaii on vacation, and they brought back some lava stones.
Oh,
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, they said that they were being haunted by the Minahuni in Rockland, California, and they were doing all kinds of mischievous things, breaking things. Um, uh, it ripped off the cord from their internet service, all kinds of crazy things. And I say, get rid of those lava stones, send them back to Hawaii, and they
you got
did.
to ship them back.
Yeah, and they did, and they said it stopped.
I'm reading about the Minahua now. I never heard about these. Sounds like the little shoe cobbler elves.
I mean, the idea of them I think is adorable. And like, I mean, I would love it to be true. Because like I said, with the house I lived, I met the thing that was hiding things from me. And trying to think, what do you call it? Like not the Huggy Wuggy. You know the Halloween costume with like the long arms? That character, like he's the blue one with the big teeth.
Slenderman?
Yeah, it's Huggy Wuggy.
Huggy Wuggy, okay. Basically a water elemental, or at least that's what my friend said it was, because I came in one day, because my house was you walk in the front door, living room with just a countertop to make the kitchen, and then doorway for the bedroom, and then the bathroom was in the corner. And I walked in and I turned on my bedroom light and he was standing in the door of my bathroom. And I was like, oh shit. So I turned my head. It was one of those where like, do I go closer? Do I run? And I think I scared him more than he scared me at that point. But there he was. And I was like, okay. And I turned around and he was gone. But I saw him clearly. His head went as high as your doorknob. And he had longer arms and he looked like a freaking Huggy Wuggy. And he just there. But after I had met him, like less of my stuff was hidden. He didn't show up as often. I think I scared him enough that he only came by once in a while, but he would hide my things. And if I would tell him like, hey, where's my hairbrush? I know it was here. And I would yell at him like a small child. I would leave. I'd come back the next day. It'd be right where I left it. You know, luckily he didn't steal my car keys or anything like that, but it would be the weirdest thing. For some reason, he loved airbrush makeup. You know, he loved just weird little things of mine, and he would just hide things. And it was nothing that any of my cats could have hidden. Things would move out of drawers. And I'm like, that's just not possible as far as I know. I've never had something magically just jump out of my drawers. But after I actually saw him and scared him, he left me alone for a while.
Wow. Kaila.
But
oh, Kaila, Heather was drawing a picture of me. Heather, show that picture.
Let me go back one second. Like this guy.
yes. I mean, his head was a normal head though, but like the longer arms, and then he had like the jagged looking teeth, like when those guys smile.
Okay, cool.
But he was 3 feet tall at most. Not even. I mean, how high is your doorknob?
Yeah, like 2 feet, not even.
2? Yeah, I guess I'm trying to think. Like, I'm only 5 feet. So yeah, 2.5 feet tall, maybe. But it was the weirdest thing because everyone would tell me you live with the Menehune, and I was like, man, I wish. Those guys sound awesome. I mean, as long as they're fun ones. I'm not looking for anything, you know, nasty and mean, but
I dealt with one water elemental, and it was called a wet lash, and it was seen at the Sacramento River by this fisherman. And he said that this wet lash looked like a little elf, but you could see through it. It was transparent because it was made of pure water, and it was holding a fish.
see, this guy wasn't fully transparent, but he was like a grayish color, like a gray brown, but not like, but there wasn't a full body to him. That's what was strange about it. That was also kind of why he freaked me out, because it wasn't like he was running around in clothes either. It was just this little strange body.
Donny Cho, have you been to Hawaii?
I have once for family vacation.
Okay.
But yeah, it's an awesome place.
Which
Yep.
island did you go to?
The main one,
Oh,
mostly.
you went to Oahu then?
Yeah.
And I went
Actually, it was 2016, the same time you were telling us about your first story.
Oh, see, there you
Yeah.
go. Okay.
So I was there at that time. That's kind of cool to think about.
I went to
Yeah, 'cause-
Waikiki and I went to Honolulu,
Mm-hmm.
and that's about it. But I've been to Hawaii maybe 3 times. Heather, have you been to Hawaii?
No, I haven't. I would love to though.
And Hercules, have you?
No, alas, I've never been to Hawaii, but that's on my bucket list. So hopefully I'll get a chance to visit it one day.
Yeah, we were actually supposed to go back a couple weeks ago, but with the whole government shutdown and all the flight delays and all the
Yeah.
craziness, we ended up canceling our trip. So maybe I'm hoping we can try to go back in February because I haven't been back since I moved, and I moved in May of 2017. So I haven't been home since then, but I already called up my friend Joe from Hawaiian Hauntings, and I was like, okay, so where are we going? And he said, where do you want to go? And he's like, I told him, if my 6-year-old is with us, only something positive. There's a nice, like a heiau, which is a spiritual place that, back in the olden days in the village, you would go there and you can say a prayer and leave an offering to a god. And then when I have a babysitter, we'll go someplace else. But my rule is always on the way home, stop at a restaurant and drop everyone off. Because, you never know what's going to follow you home.
Yeah.
Kayla, boy, that hour went fast. And so we got to start wrapping it up. But how can people get a hold of you?
Well, on Facebook, I go by my stage name because I also do acting. So it's under Giselle Kaila Entity. So as we said hi to Obsolete, I'm also in Clown Motel, 3 Ways to Hell with him. So I pretty much consider myself retired from paranormal, even though they still find me. But yeah, so Giselle Kaila Entity is how to find me on Facebook.
And Michael, Hercules, Heather, and Donny, have you watched the movie? I have, of Clown Motel.
No, but I'm looking it up right now, actually.
Well, you want to watch part 3.
Clown Motel 3.
We're 3. It's not fully released yet. It's starting to make premieres.
Mm-hmm.
So I would give it another 6 months or so probably before it's really out in the world. But even our daughter was in it too with us.
I'll be looking it up.
Is it on 1 and 2? Is 1 and 2 on 2?
1 and 2, I think, are on Tubi, or at least 1 is on Tubi.
Okay.
I know 2 is being re-edited at one point.
One of our clients, her name is Peace, and she lives in Hawaii. She was supposed to be on the show today. You guys would have had a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But yeah, after we go back, I'll have to let you know what happens, because when I go visit, we'll at least go out and investigate someplace or just go hang out someplace haunted and tell stories. Because we used to love to do that. Just turn off all the lights and just sit in the dark and tell stories and see how everyone around us responds. Because people don't realize spirits love hearing stories.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They like to make their story too. Yeah. I'm the lady in white.
I've encountered one of those in New Jersey, of all places.
Yeah.
There was a haunting, and they invited me over. And again, I don't like to know what I'm facing either. Let's see what happens. And then at 3 a.m, I saw a woman in like a diaphanous white gown and a bunch of hounds. They were like greyhounds, and they were baying. And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. So the next day, when I talked to the person who invited me over, I described it, and that's what she had been seeing. So there is some folklore about ladies in white in New Jersey and in that part of Jersey, but it's such a rare folkloric type of event and so widespread that I was surprised to have encountered it there.
It's interesting. The story always is the person's always wearing white. It's very rare. Like I had a friend photograph in a cemetery once, and the little girl was wearing a white dress, but she had on red shoes. But somehow it's always a white dress, I've noticed.
Yeah, that's a conversation that deserves a lot of attention, because clothes don't have souls, or they're not spirits. Something that there's something that often makes it over, like horses and dogs. Not that they don't have spirits, but they get stuck in these ghostly scenarios a lot of times. So one day we can talk about that here, and I'll invite you all to participate.
And I talked
Okay, yeah.
I talked to one paranormal investigator, and they were saying that there was this one entity called the Lady in Red. And as time progressed, the red turned into a light red. And then more time progressed and became a lady in white.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'll see if I can find a paranormal investigator we can
Yeah,
talk
ghosts can't seem to do like patterns. I noticed they can't do like stripes or polka dots or like a New York Giants jersey or something,
Yeah.
or like a flannel shirt. Maybe it's too hard to manifest. I don't know. Maybe that takes too much psychic juice.
That'd be an interesting metaphysical question.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That, or maybe they just didn't like it, and so they're like not wearing it now. Didn't like it alive.
Yeah.
Not wearing it in the afterlife.
Maybe there's a
Yeah.
rule against like wearing brand names. Like you can't have like a brand logo on your t-shirt.
It's like when you film, yeah, you can't have brands on your
Yeah.
when you're filming, so maybe ghosts can't have brand name. They
Well,
need
that
the
makes-
sponsorship.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, especially sports teams.
As we wrap up, is anyone here other than Paul familiar with Theosophy with Madame Helena Petrovna Blavatsky?
I am familiar with it. Yeah.
Would you like to be on a panel this Sunday? We're going to talk about Helena Petrovna Blavatsky and her contribution to Western metaphysics and occultism and the birth of the New Age through the Theosophical Society.
That does sound fun. Unfortunately, I already have a podcast booked. It's my other show. It's called The Ball Pit, where me and one of my other paranormal cryptid friends we get together and we talk about sports and pro wrestling. It's every Sunday. It's like a side project of mine. Unfortunately, otherwise I would definitely be fascinated to show
Well,
up.
I have a show every day, so there'll be
Yeah.
other shows that we can schedule.
There will be plenty of opportunities. We still have to do our 80s action movie show.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And I fall on Sunday, so that's always a treat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Kayla, thank you so much for being on the show. Are you on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook as Giselle though. So
Oh,
it's
what I'll
Giselle
do-
Kaila Entity. Yeah. So I use
Oh,
my
yeah.
stage name as my Facebook.
Okay. I'll email you my Facebook link. Friend
Okay.
me, and sometime we'll get you on the show again.
Yeah. So if you see a profile picture with myself and my daughter painted as clowns, then you know it's the right one.
Cool.
How do I spell Giselle, by the way?
It's Giselle.
Okay. Oh, there you
Yes,
are.
it's Giselle. Yeah, Giselle Kaila Entity.
I'm going to add you right now. Oh, we're already friends. Well, there you go.
Hey, we're already friends.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you officially.
Yeah. Hello.
And doggone Donny just jumped on everything. How much more time we got, Hercules?
We have between 2 and 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. Anybody have a good joke? No. All right, I'll do one. Look, knock, knock.
Who's
Who's
there?
Isabel.
Isabel who?
Isabel on the bicycle working.
Thank you.
She absolutely laughed too.
I know. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Okay, who's there?
Lion.
Lion who?
Lion on the job, eh?
There,
Well, there you go.
and Paul gets a certificate for the most creative ending to a show.
There you go.
Well, I want to thank all of you. You're all awesome, and I am meeting, I believe, all of you for the second time today, or the third time, and all of us have discussed possibilities. So I'm looking forward to working with all of you. Paul, I hope you feel better.
Yes.
Thank you very much for a very entertaining and informative show. You're awesome. You're all awesome.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Hercules. Make sure to send me the link so I can go ahead and spread it around.
It will be
Well,
up
thank you,
probably
everyone.
tonight, but definitely by noon tomorrow. And I will send to everyone whose link I have active on Facebook. I'll send them a link to it, and I'll send it to you as well.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Hey, good night, everybody. Take good care and happy day after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And happy
Yes.
holidays. Yep.
Yes. Good night. Nice to meet everyone.
Bye bye.
Same here. Good night.
Good night.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.